Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it has arrived. If you follow me on Instagram, then you've already seen this. So I made a custom Z palette on the Z palette website. With my picture on it, which I know just sounds completely ridiculous. And I mean, it looks completely ridiculous. Yeah, if you go to the Z Palette website, you can customize any of their palettes. You can put pictures, text. They have like their kind of generic, like pre-made designs and things that you can put on there and add your own text and that kind of stuff. But then you can also take your own photos and add them to your palette. There's the clear window in the front, which mine isn't clear because I put stickers all over it. But I also took the same picture and put it on the front here. I made mine purple on the inside. And again, I put some more stickers on the inside of that too. And this is the extra large Z palette, which I just think is like the perfect size for like a daily essentials, which is really what I wanted. I also have a second extra large Z palette that I've had for a while. This is just like a basic black Z palette. And so what I wanted to do with this palette was keep it as not only a backup, but keep it as a palette that has my almost empty products in it. Really just kind of use things up. Like I have an almost empty pan of the MAC Studio Fix. I've got a blush in here, just some beauty powders, and that kind of stuff. I also have a few new products that I'm going to be using today. A few things that I picked up at the L'Oreal store, and just a few new products that I'm kind of excited about. So if you want to see how I created this look, then keep watching. So since I have a few products that I'm trying to finish up, I started by going into this palette with the MAC Studio Fix in NW22. Now for me personally, when it comes to the Studio Fix powder, my oil just comes through it so much. If I'm wearing Studio Fix as my foundation, by the end of a day, my foundation really looks like crap. For the purpose of filming videos, it's quick and it's easy, and it's something that I'm only gonna be wearing for about 2 or 3 hours anyway, and then I'm gonna wash it off. And to start my contour, I went into this MAC Beauty powder. This is from the Raquel Welch collection. This is called Peaceful. And I've had this for a long time. Like I think that collection came out about 10, 12, maybe 13 years ago. It's been forever ago. But I love this color. I love this powder. I apply that with the MAC 134 and really just kind of start my contour. So I hit my cheekbones, my temples, my jawline, and then just kind of take it around to other areas of my face, like my nose, my chin, with just whatever is left on the brush after I've gone in and kind of started to sculpt my cheekbones. Now, when I'm self-tanning, I really like to use the color Shadester. This is a MAC sculpting powder. I'm not sure if this is a pro product or if it's available just at any MAC stores, but since I've been doing a lot of self-tanning lately, I feel like for me, as far as my overall contour shade, I just am lately liking a little bit more of a warmer contour, and that one really gives me that. So for somebody that is lighter than an NW20, I'm not sure that this color would really work that well, but for me, with a self-tan on, I actually really like this color for contouring. Now, I do also go on top of that with this cool tone transition shade from the Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air palette. This color for me, I really like because I can layer that on top of Shadester. I feel like it gives me like a nice natural contour look without being too gray or too muddy. And I just kind of layer that right over top onto the cheekbones, into the temples, underneath the jawline. And I've been really liking that shade a lot lately. It's one of my favorite contour colors. And then for blush, I'm going into Blushbaby by MAC. This is one of my favorite blushes, obviously. Like, I'm almost down to the very bottom of it. I apply that one with the MAC 137, which is my favorite blush brush. It's so soft and it's so fluffy and it has so much movement to it that it gives you that really airbrushed blush look. The Wet n Wild Photofocus Concealer, I've been using this one pretty much strictly as an eyeshadow primer lately. I do want to get a lighter shade. I have the light medium beige, which again, for an eyeshadow primer on the top of the lids, for me is perfect, but it's just a little bit too dark to use on the under eye if I wanted to conceal and brighten. If I wanted to do that, I think I need to go pick up the lightest shade of this. For a loose setting powder, I love this Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This one's great. I use the shade Fair today, and I always apply that with a dry beauty blender. I know that a lot of people are using a wet beauty blender to apply their under eye powder, but for me, I prefer a dry beauty blender. I have one that I use for foundation that I dampen, and then I have one that I always keep dry, and I always just apply powder with that one. So I recently rediscovered Naked by Urban Decay, which is one of my favorite eyeshadows ever. I love to use that as a transition. I love to use it as my nose contour. And that's what I did today, actually. I used it as my nose contour and at the very, very beginning of my eyebrows, and then went over top of the inner part of my eyebrows with my Omega eyeshadow by MAC, and then finished them off with the Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Taupe. And that Sigma E25 blending brush, I'm telling you guys, for a nose contour, it's my favorite. I love it. And again, to start the inner part of my eyebrows, I just feel like for my face size and my face shape, it's just kind of the perfect brush for that. And for my eye look today, I actually used quite a few shadows from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. I started off with a transition shade, which I'm not sure exactly which one it is. That palette has been depotted for so long that, yeah, I just don't remember which one that is anymore. A medium warm tone transition that I went ahead and applied to my socket with the Morphe M433. Then I went back in with the Morphe M504 and just blended that transition out even further and really softened up the edges. I've also recently been using Fudge by Anastasia Beverly Hills quite a bit, and I went ahead and packed that into the crease with the same Morphe M433 brush that I used to apply my transition, and blended that out into the crease and underneath the lash line. And then I went in with my trusty little nub of an eyeliner. This is Coffee by MAC. I use my shit till it's gone. I had somebody a few days ago on my Instagram ask me if I was really heavy-handed with my products because they were so dented and so like kind of messed up looking. And I'm like, I use my makeup and I use it until it's dead and gone, and that's what I've done with my pencil products as well. So lip liners, eyeliners, and I will use this until I sharpen it one last time and the product actually falls out of it. So that's just the kind of guy I am. So I just use Coffee on the waterline and then blended that into my lower lash line with Central Perk. This is from the same Morphe palette, the Jaclyn Hill palette, on a Morphe E36, just to kind of smoke out my lower lash line a little bit more. Another shadow from that same palette, this is Queen, and this is one of my favorite and one of my most used shades from that Jaclyn Hill palette. Now, I know that I've talked about this before. I have lately been pressing all of my shimmer shades dry onto the NYX glitter primer. It just doesn't mess with the formula at all. So I go ahead and lay down the NYX glitter primer where I'm gonna put that shadow, and then I go ahead and press the shimmery shadows or glitters, whatever it is that you wanna use, right over top of that. And I use the double-ended brush from the Urban Decay Naked palette. I use the little packer brush on the one end to apply the NYX glitter primer, and then I flipped it around, used the fluffier part, and dipped into Queen, and then just pressed that right over top of that glitter primer. And that'll keep everything in place all day long. And then recently, I've also been using glitter primer on my inner corners underneath my highlight just to make that pop even more. And today I use Glisten by Posh Pepper Beauty. I love this shade for my inner corners. And for my cheekbone highlight today, I used a new product that I just picked up at the L'Oreal company store. And if you know anybody that works at one of those L'Oreal shipping facilities, get on that and go in there and shop because everything is dirt fucking cheap. I picked up this Maybelline Master Chrome. This is one of their new highlighters in the shade Molten Rose Gold. And since I've got a pinky undertone, I don't even have a pinky undertone, I'm just fucking pink. I just figured that a shade like this would be a perfect highlight color for me. And also at the L'Oreal store, since I now get a half-price discount on IT Cosmetics, which is fucking awesome, I picked up this IT Cosmetics Your Lips But Better All-Day Waterproof Lip Liner Stain in the shade Blushing Nude. But I did actually already use this once, and it stayed on my lips all day long. It didn't budge, it didn't move. It actually did wipe off very easily with a makeup remover wipe. But when I applied this, I did apply it over top of some lipstick I already had on, so maybe I'll have a harder time getting it off today. And then today, over top of that pencil, I applied what has quickly become my favorite lipstick. This is the Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer in the shade Charmer. This is another purchase from the L'Oreal company store. And then I went ahead and did my lashes off camera. I used the Lash Star Beauty Individual Lash Curler and the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. And this is where we're at as far as the final look goes. Another product that I picked up that I'm really excited to try actually is the IT Cosmetics It's Your Brush Love. This is one of those instant brush cleaners, which, let's try it. Let's see how it works. Let's go ahead and try that on camera right now. Which brush is my dirtiest? This is my Morphe M433 that I used today to apply my eyeshadow look. So we'll go ahead and try to clean this brush and see how it works. Let's see. Spray directly onto the brush head. Gently wipe with a tissue or towel to remove makeup residue. Repeat as needed. Lay flat to dry for 60 seconds. So I've got a towel, I've got my dirty brush. Oh yeah, the brush doesn't feel wet. It doesn't feel stiff and dry. And actually, let's see. I'm definitely still gonna use like soap, water, and actually clean my brushes. But again, if you're in a pinch and you just need to get a brush clean really quick, I think this is a really good option for that. So, hey, that totally worked. And it's totally dry. Like you could go in and just instantly use this one. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. A bunch of new stuff. I got my new palette. I'm pretty excited about this obnoxious thing. Now, it did take a while to get in the mail. It did take almost 2 months. Like I designed it, I ordered it, and then 2 months later it finally arrived. So it's not something you're gonna order and get next week. You do have to be patient, you do have to wait for it. But I'm definitely down to design another palette. But yeah, if you guys design a palette of your own, go ahead and leave me a comment down below and let me know how it works out for you. But I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, notification bell. See you guys next time.